Hello, YouTube. This is Melon Tart VA,
And this is Saki Yamano.
and today we're going to be ranking all the game rivals in a tier maker. We're going to be going by generation, going over what we liked, what we didn't like, and where we think they belong. So first up is Blue from Generation 1. Okay, so let's talk about Blue
Honestly,
for a minute.
yeah, honestly, I kind of thought he was kind of a dick, but at the same time, given the theories I've heard about him, and
What kind of theories,
so,
aside from the dead Radicate theory?
well, there's a theory that the reason he's kind of a cocky dick is well, it's like he's still actually your friend, but he's a very competitive person, so he basically just the reason he's kind of a dick is he's a very competitive person who mainly just sees you as a worthy rival.
Okay, so what do you think? Do we want to stick him in A or B tier?
A, because beating him still feels very satisfying.
Okay, next up is Silver. Let's be honest, Silver has to go into S tier. He's still probably the
Yeah.
best rival the game's ever gave us.
Oh yeah, and I love his development throughout the course of the plot.
Oh yeah, plus the backstory revealed via the Celebi event in Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Wait, what? I was never in a Pokemon game.
Silver, not you. Not you, another guy named Silver.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so let's see. I think next we'll go with Brendan/May. I personally think that if they'd actually had a bit of an arc, like realizing they want to do contests or something, maybe they could have been a bit more interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, and to be honest, there's not much character to. At least in May, there's not much character.
Yeah, like Brendan is genuinely more interesting, but since they're being grouped together as one rival, what do you think? Do we want to go C tier?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Also, funny thing is, I think everyone figured this. For the longest time, I thought Brendan's hat was just spiky white hair.
yeah, I think everybody thought that. Okay, next we've got Wally. Wally's a tricky one purely because he only shows up 4 times over the course of the game, to my memory.
Yeah, and it's like you do help him catch Pokemon a couple times, but
I thought it was only once you help him catch a Ralts.
yeah, the Ralts. But it's like otherwise, he has an interesting arc where it's like he kind of gets better, but then he gets sidelined again after that fourth battle with him.
So, do we want to go B or A?
B,
Okay, B, fair enough.
because I feel like while he had a good arc, I feel like they kind of wasted it.
Fair enough. Next up, we've got Barry from Gen 4. We've talked about Barry in private and how he's just kind of how his entire arc could have been fixed if he'd possibly been snobbish because of his dad, and over time he learns I've got to work. I can't just find people and be a snob because I'm a dad.
Yeah.
And, so, and however, as Barry is, what do you think? I'm between B and C on him. C?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next up we've got Generation 5. We'll start with Bianca. I think Bianca gets a C rank just because it feels like her entire arc ends too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, much like Wally, the arc is kind of a waste.
All right. Next we've got Charon, who okay, so essentially Charon ultimately decides he wants to be the champion, but he doesn't know what he wants to do after that. And in the sequel, he ends up as the normal type gym leader. Yeah, but unfortunately, there was already a normal type gym leader, and becoming the new one, it just feels like it comes right the fuck out of nowhere.
True.
So
see.
yeah. Yeah, next up is Hugh. He was actually one of my favorites purely because of his motivation. Team Plasma effectively stole his sister's purloined, and so he effectively fights in order to get that Pokemon back and make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else.
So I guess you could say they purloined her purloin.
Wow. Okay, so let's see. For Hugh, I'm between S and A rank, personally, just based on his arc. What do you think?
I'd say S, because that sounds like a really good arc.
Alright. Next up, we've got Generation 6,
Ugh.
starting with Callum/Serena. I don't know. To me, in the manga, Callum's more interesting, and in the anime, Serena is more interesting.
So B tier.
Yeah, we'll stick them right in the middle, just because they're more interesting in other iterations. Okay, next up, we've got Shauna. Shauna, I gotta put in C tier.
Yeah.
If anything, purely because of that a shipping bait if you're a guy. Like, it's something.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Trevor. Trevor is going into D tier because he is boring, and so is Tierno. They're both just going into D rank because they are boring as
Yeah.
sin.
Oh yeah, it's like Tierno's just into dancing, so it's like, then why are you into Pokemon battling, dude?
Yeah.
Or it feels like you're kind of in the business of training for the wrong reason, my dude.
Yeah. Next up, we've got How. Oh, I don't know about this one.
How's kind of a tough one because while I love him as a character, I don't really like him as a rival.
So,
He's I don't know.
as a
D,
rival,
because like
yeah.
as a rival D because again he's just because of the fact he's always so had for it, he's just not satisfying to beat. You feel like a dick when you beat him.
Yeah, that's true. And next up is Gladian. I kind of want to stick Gladian in A or S rank just because of his story.
Yeah,
And
A
his
tier.
bond. Alright, A tier. Okay, next up, we've got Trace. Okay, so for Trace, I personally feel that if Trace had possibly been like Blue's cousin who was bullied by Blue, and his arc is about like standing up for himself, Trace could have been a more interesting character.
Yeah.
But as he is, I kind of wanted either B or C rank.
C.
C?
Yeah, C.
Okay, next up we've got Hop. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know about this one.
Again, while I like Hop as a character, he's just not to me not a very good rival.
Yeah, like I've actually discussed a possible arc on like a Discord, which could have made a Hop like a bit more interesting, and also play it into that episode of Twilight Wings, which anybody who knows it, if you didn't cry near the end of that episode, you have no soul. Which is why Hop is tough. Like, he's better than How, but he's not as good as Gladian.
So B tier.
Yeah, we'll stick him in B tier. Okay, next up is Bede. Oh, I know you really don't like Bede.
Oh, Bede, I want to. Oh, trust me, I want to introduce a face. I want to introduce his face to a table multiple times.
Okay, so essentially, because he effectively tried to be Blue 2.0 and failed, do we want to stick him in C rank?
Yeah.
Alright, and finally is Marnie. Marnie is a tough one, purely because we don't know much about her. Like, if we'd possibly seen a bit of the town, possibly seen how the people were, like, suffering, and that she possibly wanted to be the champion to make things better, maybe then she could have been an interesting character, but we don't see enough.
So B tier.
Yeah, we'll stick her in B tier. Sorry, Marnie fans, and there we go. That is our ranking of the Pokemon rivals.
Also, it kind of saddens me to put Marnie in the B tier as a Marnie fangirl myself.
I'm sorry, but honestly, given possibilities for her character, I feel like right in the middle is where she belongs. Or actually, yeah, sadly, sadly, Marnie just belongs right in the middle.
True.
Anyway, guys, I am sorry if our choices were not the same rankings as you guys, but honestly, we talked about this and we've gone over possible rewrites for some of these guys. If you're interested, maybe we'll make a video fixing the rivals. Would you want to do that, Sakuya?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, guys, I am Melantart VA.
I am Sakuya Amano.
And we'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.
Deuces.